Yes, this is an urgent message to everybody who watches me and anybody else who's affected by this whole mass censorship that's been going on lately. The silencing of everybody with a different opinion to those who are in control of so said platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You all know who you are, and you know what I'm talking about. If any of you know who Steven Crowder is, he's that, I guess, funny guy who talks about political satire, talks about, all this political stuff that's been going on and everything. And if you don't know who he is, I recommend him. He's actually pretty entertaining. But okay, this is where I start getting into the whole thing. You all remember who Alex Jones is also. He's that guy, that big angry guy that talked about the conspiracies against man and American, men, women, and children by the totalitarianism of government, and blah, 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 banged on the things. And I found him quite informative, to be honest with you. He was too much of a, big windbag and everything, but, he meant good. He means good. As well as a lot of other YouTubers out there who try to speak for everybody when it comes to our freedom of speech. And who are currently fighting it right now. Currently fighting censorship. Now, this all started when Alex Jones was deplatformed from YouTube for giving conspiracy theories, which is another form of freedom of speech. In no way does it cause any problems or anything, because I don't remember any, huge groups or gathering of peoples marching down the streets demanding Obama's head when he said that Sandy Hook was fake or anything like that. But for some reason they decided to silence him when he did say it. Not necessarily because it offended anybody, but because, hey, there might be some truth behind it. But they deplatformed him. They removed him. They even put a lawsuit, which is kind of stupid. To this day, it's still going on. Alex Jones is still fighting this lawsuit over his freedom of speech of saying that Sandy Hook was fake. Then we move on several years later after that, because this happened in this happened in 2015, so something like that, 2015, 2014. So we move several years later, and we move on to the present, 2019, where Steven Crowder was demonetized thanks to a Vox troll that goes by Carlos Meza. And nothing real damaging that led this to happen. The only thing Steven Crowder kept calling him was a lispy, lispy gay guy. Lispy F-A-G or lispy fig. So this guy even goes by Gay Monk or something like that. I forget what he goes by on his Twitter. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you people know who Carlos Meza is. He actually demanded YouTube do something about this, because his feelings were hurt when he called him a lispy fig. And, YouTube definitely did something. And not exactly the entire request that this cuck, Carlos Meza, requested, which was completely deplatforming Steven Crowder. But they did manage to demonetize him, which was not making any more of that sweet theoretical money. Now he actually has to depend on people going to his, crowdfunded fan website, buying merch from him and all this other stuff. And he can make do. He had several years to make money off of his channel. I don't see why he's in any kind of real dependence for, I really need people to buy my mugs because I'm poor and I need money and I'm going to be kicked in the streets and blah, blah. This is stupid. Anyways. So, yeah. This happened, and Steven Crowder said, screw it, screw him, screw YouTube. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Good for him. He has balls to continue on doing what he keeps doing, which is making satirical comedy against those on the left. In no way does he promote censorship. In no way does Steven Crowder promote hate speech or anything like that, which is what seems to be going on lately, that anything anybody says that's contrary to the leftist ideology is considered hate speech, even though there's nothing remotely hateful about whatever it is you say. which is actually protected by your First Amendment right, your constitutional right. You can say whatever you want. That's the point. But he was, demonetized, no more making money. And there's also this other YouTuber who goes by Jeremy. His channel's called Geeks and Gamers, and I've mentioned this channel before. And it's stupid how only when a person is affected financially do these big YouTubers finally say enough is enough. We need to fill the inbox of YouTube on our Twitter and ask what the deal, what's going on, why are you doing this, blah blah blah. But they're not doing it for you, they're not doing it for your family, they're not doing it for your friends. They're doing it for a fellow YouTuber of hundreds of thousands of subscribers to its even millions that they need to keep this from happening, because if it happens to one YouTuber who makes money off of theoretical views and stuff, it's going to happen to all YouTubers who make a living financially off of their views and subscribers. This was not a cry for help. This was not a cry for justice. This was not a cry for freedom or revolution against the left. No, this was actually more of a, holy crap, if this is happening to this guy, imagine me going through financial bankruptcy because YouTube and the fat cats, the whatchamacallit, there's a word, the bureaucratic fat cats on the left who control all means of media don't like what I have to say, so they might do the same to me. Does that nothing to do with, oh, we gotta stand together as a community, blah blah blah. No, I mean, you really have to look in between the lines when it comes to these kinds of things. And I did look between the lines. Okay? I did look between the lines. This guy talks about Brie Larson like if it's a religion. This guy talks about the left and the Star Wars movies, how screwed up they've been, and the Batwoman, what I kind of did also. And to be honest with you, I don't ever worry about being censored or deplatformed because, number one, honestly, I don't have that many views to begin with, and I'm not making a dime off of it off my channel. So there's no reason for them to even pay attention to me. But here's the thing. These guys, these YouTubers, have viewers and subscribers to its hundreds, thousands, even to its millions. Okay, and the views are almost as equal as their subs. So you can kind of guess how lazy and cowardly to me it is that instead of them saying to everybody, we need to come up with a plan to get big tech off our asses, we need to come up with a plan to have these guys respect our constitutional right to freedom of speech. No, they don't. And like I said, let me remind you, these guys have subs and views in its hundred thousands to millions. They can definitely push this to get done, to make it happen, to see it through, to make it a reality. And what is it that I'm talking about? I'm going to tell you, and I'm the first person that you'll ever hear come up with this proposal. The proposal that I have, seeing on how July 4th is right around the corner, and you know what July 4th is and what we celebrate here in the United States. In the United States, July 4th, we celebrate our Independence Day. I know that a lot of people like to use that as an excuse to barbecue, as an excuse to go to the park, and even some at point to shoot fireworks, and unfortunately, as reality has deemed it true, as an excuse to drink. Greatly. Oh yeah, it's 4th of July, let's get drunk. Woo! Yeah, burp. Okay. Nobody really takes the 4th of July as something really significant. This country was created so that people can have freedom of religion, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, and a whole bunch of other things, because those things were not exercised or practiced back in Europe back in those days. So that's what the 4th of July really is. So today, I'm bringing this up so that we can once again make another form of independence, and it's the independence of big tech. Because a lot of you are so addicted to your Facebook, to your Twitter, to your Instagram, to your YouTube. Some of you have made lives through these forms of media. Some of you have made your fortune through this media. Some of you have made your businesses through this media. And that's good. Good for you. I envy you for that. I envy you. I came in too late, I guess. But where I don't gain anything. I don't gain not one single thing from this. Okay? I'm not going to gain subscribers. I'm not going to gain anything. Probably views. But that's not going to mean anything because I'm speaking up against the powers that be. So I don't see myself making any kind of gain or getting anything from this. This is actually so that all of us are protected. So that all of us don't ever have to worry about being silenced or censored or anything, because they did that already in the 1930s and 40s, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? This is bigger than all of us put together. This is something that affects our future. And think about this, please. Consider this as just a taste of what will happen in the future if nobody actually deals with it and does something about it. And my proposal will definitely fix that. And I'm going to start my proposal with this opening quote from one of the greatest minds in the United States. He who would trade liberty for some temporary security deserves neither liberty nor security. Benjamin Franklin. Let me break that part down to you. He who would trade liberty, in other words, your freedom of speech, being able to share your thoughts, being able to exercise, well, your right to speak, your right to share your thoughts. If you would trade that for some temporary security, and by temporary security means that you would actually abide by their rules. Oh, please don't censor me, don't deplatform me. I swear I'll never speak out of turn again. I'll never speak against so said platform. I'll never speak against the powers that be. Just please don't remove my means of living. For temporary security. You don't deserve any one of those things. You don't deserve your freedom of speech, and you definitely don't deserve whatever financial gain you're making out of this. So it's true. You don't, Steven Crowder. You don't, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers. You don't, Alex Jones. You don't deserve neither. Because you're not willing to do what needs to be done. And here's my proposal. Ready? Okay. Number 1, get a piece of paper. Get a pen or pencil. Make sure you put this piece of paper somewhere safe. You're going to go to all 4 of your social platforms, like I said, and I will repeat myself depending on what social platforms you use and which ones have been, exercising mass censorship, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You're going to go and copy down your emails from all 4 or 5 or as many as you have, and you're going to copy down the passwords. But why do I need to copy down my email and passwords, man? What's going on? You're going to copy those things down, you're going to put them on a piece of paper, and you're going to put them away somewhere safe where you won't forget. Part 2. On July the 4th. It could be on the dot midnight, or it could be still during that day. But I want this to happen. On July 4th, you're all going to log out. You're going to log out on all your social platforms. Wait a minute, but I can't live without sharing my pictures of puppies and restaurants in my favorite outfits, or making stupid videos of myself lip-syncing to some stupid cuck leftist artist, or my opinions on certain things about life and reality, or my stupid opinions about a movie, or my stupid opinions about a celebrity, or my stupid opinions about how... No. You have to do this. Okay? This isn't costing you anything other than just a week worth of boredom if you have absolutely nothing else to do and you're seriously dependent on this form of media. You can't even so much as even turn on a TV and just watch a movie or something, or get a Blu-ray, or watch a movie, or play offline video games, or I'm not saying you're gonna censor, you're gonna deprive yourself of online gaming, of course not, but most of you like to use your online gaming in order to make your videos and upload them on YouTube or Instagram and all those other forms of media. But you have to do the week, and I'm asking everybody, and I'm pleading with everybody, if you want all of this to go away, if you want mass censorship to go away, and you want these big tech bullies to finally be put in their place to where they know they depend on you. We don't depend on them. They depend on us. They depend on us logging daily. Okay? They depend on us logging in daily. Because without us, They don't have their investors. They don't make their cash, and their empire wouldn't be as big as it is right now because we're the ones that helped them create it. Okay? By everybody in millions, and I'm not talking a couple hundreds or a couple thousands. No, I'm talking this needs to happen in its millions. If you really care about your freedom of speech, this has to happen in its millions. And it has to happen on the 4th of July as a symbolic representation of our independence and freedom. And it has to go through all the way to July 11th. Yes, July 11th. You have to give these guys a hit. You have to hit them where it hurts. You have to hit them financially. That thing that happened to this guy from Secure Team 10, where he was demonetized, where he was set on panic mode, and all of a sudden seriously considered shutting down his channel because he was demonetized. Just imagine someone who makes billions yearly when millions of people log out through the 4th to the 11th. That's more than just panic mode. Most of them would probably even consider hanging themselves from the overhead lights in their offices, or probably even jumping out the window. I know that sounds insensitive, but it's the truth. Okay? They'd be on panic mode. Their trade would go down. Their stocks would go down. Their investors would, jump ship. Hey, you know what, man? You're not making the logins or anything. You're losing numbers. We're gonna have to pull out. We're losing money too through this. They lose investors. I know that probably a lot of you are gonna say, "Wait a minute, man. That's harsh, man. You're biting the hand that feeds." Well, number one, no, I'm not biting any hand that feeds because it's not feeding me. I'm not making a dime off of this, like I've said before. But many other people with YouTube channels who have thousands of subscribers or even millions of subscribers do and are being fed by that hand. But that hand has slapped them in the face. Okay? Now, unless you're a masochist and you like suffering and you like being a big tech's bitch, then go ahead and keep doing what you do every day. But here's the one thing, Steven Crowder, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, and Alex Jones, and any other person out there who's affected by this. If you consider still doing this, and you don't log out, and you don't share this video to your viewers, and you tell them, you need to get this done, listen to this guy, I'm going to do it, and I want everybody to do it. If you still consider yourself to be patriotic, or you care about your freedom of speech, you will do this. But if you don't, and you don't log out, and you don't show commitment to this, then I don't want to hear you bitch and complain about it anymore. Because that's all I've been hearing left and right. And I'm not talking political positions. I'm talking, direction-wise. Left and right, all I hear from social media, from TV, from everything. Ugh, once again, they've deplatformed someone. Ugh, once again, they've demonetized someone. Ugh, once again, they shadow banned someone. Ugh, I can't see that person's post. I can't see that person's nothing or comments or whatever. I don't want to hear anybody bitch about it. You decided to give these people power the moment that they started doing this, and you said nothing. You said nothing. Steven Crowder, Alex Jones, and anybody else with a lot of followers, subscribers, or viewers. You let them do this. You're as guilty as the ones who did this. As the ones who made this happen. You're just as guilty as they are. So I don't want to hear anybody complaining about censorship. I don't want to hear anybody complaining about, I've been silenced. Oh, I'm Steven Crowder. My best way of fighting back is making stupid satirical jokes against the left. I'm going to make fun of Carlos Maza. No. Enough with the jokes. This is not a time for jokes anymore. We're too far in for anybody to make jokes out of this. Steven Crowder. The jokes are over, okay? There's no more room for jokes anymore. We're all too far into this to keep making jokes out of. If we want anything to change and we want these big tech assholes to cut their shit, we have to log out. And we have to log out for a good amount of time. And I know it's going to hurt a lot of you, and a lot of you are going to die of boredom, and you go, oh, I can't live without my my social platforms. Oh, what will I do? Woe is me. Woe is me. Because I know a lot of you are going to say something like that. Oh, I need to log back in. But I guarantee you, they will lose and they will beg us to come back. Okay? And you have to log out completely. Even if it means you having to erase your profile in order to send the message. You have to do what you have to do. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. And believe me, my wife won't let me lie. She already knows this proposal. She says, well, I doubt that you're actually going to do it. And I said, okay, I challenge you. I actually challenged my wife to do this also. And she accepted that challenge. And she's very competitive. And that's what I want everybody to do. I want you to be competitive. I don't think most of you will do it. I think most of you will probably break down in less than a day. You won't make it through a week. That's what I think. And if you don't make it through the week, then like I said, I don't want to hear anybody bitching and complaining when things get worse. I'm actually going to say to people, hey, you know what? I did the challenge. I did the week. I wanted to send a message to Big Tech. Everybody else didn't. That's their fucking fault. I know that I tried, and I don't have to feel guilty about anything because I tried it, but nobody else did. That's exactly what's going to happen. And you're not going to have anyone to blame but yourselves. So to everybody watching this video, my 15 viewers or my 49 subscribers, if you really care about your freedom of speech and you give a shit about not just the country's future but the world itself, you'll share this video with big YouTubers who are going through the exact same thing, who are concerned about this mass censorship, who are concerned about our first constitutional and human rights being violated by Big Tech, to where we're no longer allowed to say anything without it being flagged down for offensive, despite the fact that it's not, and even if it is, it's your freedom of speech to say so. Okay? We don't need anybody looking over our shoulders and telling us what we can or can't do like we were 2-year-olds. We're all fully grown adults, at least some of us are. And we don't need anybody telling us what we can and can't say. Most of us don't make messages of hate or create, groups of violence, unlike Antifa, who actually have their own YouTube or Facebook, even Twitter, or even Instagram. Most of us just say things for what they are, as honestly as we possibly can, and as inoffensive as possible as well. But they don't seem to care. Okay, they want to silence the big YouTubers. Let's just do this. Let's just all be silent. Let's just do a social media blackout. We need a blackout, and it has to be voluntarily and not forced upon. Okay? We have to do this voluntarily so that we can show Big Tech that we don't need them, they need us. And by that means that they have to respect our civil rights, our human rights, our constitutional rights. So please leave a like or leave a comment. Subscribe if you have to, if you want. I'm not going to force you. But one thing I do demand that everyone that sees this video, the one thing I do demand, and I'm going to do it myself as well, the one thing I do demand that you do is share this video. Share it. Share it and spread it like wildfire. Make it uncontrollable. Thank you very much for watching.